888-245-8101. Attention seniors, protect yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Oh, man, do we got a lot to talk about today.
To attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, make sure you like the video. Hey, guys, welcome. Here we go. It's showtime.
FLA 3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
Man, we got a lot going on today, and most of it ain't good. We're in a very dangerous situation here, guys.
The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE.
Deborah, welcome. Oh, man, do we have a lot to talk about this morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, The Steve Kane Show. Indeed, it is. And we have just terrible things to talk about today, and I'm very upset at the media's handling of this, of everything we're going to be talking about this morning. And this cheat sheet that Biden was caught with, I'm going to go through this story, and this is what's aggravating me so much about the cheat sheet story with Biden. They're acting as if it's a joke, if it's a punchline, like it's funny. Nothing about this is funny. It is not a joke. It's not a punchline. And it's incredibly serious. And we're going to talk about this. This is in the Daily Mail. There's a photograph of the cheat sheet. Joe Biden on Monday took questions from the press about the invasion of Ukraine by Russia and his declaration that Putin cannot remain in power. In his left hand, the 79-year-old had a typed cue card with expected questions and prepared answers. On the remarks about Putin not being fit to, it says lead, Biden insisted, "I was not articulating a change in policy." Rand Paul led the criticism of Biden's reliance on these cue cards, telling Fox News that it was like being around somebody who's in cognitive decline. And he's a doctor, so I'll consider that a medical opinion of Rand Paul, right? He's also a specialist, an ophthalmologist. Rand Paul continued, "You find yourself trying to help them with a sentence, trying to help them complete it." And there's a picture of the card here. We can see one of the cue cards. It's numbered number 1, and there's a stack of them in Biden's hands. And it has a headline underlined at the top, and it says, "Tough Putin Q&A talking points." And it doesn't just have talking point answers. It has the questions word for word asked by the fake news media. Number 1. It says, number 1. "If you weren't advocating for regime change, what did you mean? Can you clarify?" And here's the answer he's to give. "I was expressing the moral outrage I felt towards the actions of this man. I was not articulating a change in policy." Then you see the second question. Now, some of the second question is covered up by Biden's fingers and a microphone, but you can see number 2. Macron said he would have used these. Then you can't see. The UK government suggested it was a problem. Is this now threatening to splinter unity with your NATO allies? And here's his answer. No, NATO has never been more unified. This is not funny. This is frightening to me. There's a war raging in Europe right now. Only question about this war, is it going to stay within Ukraine or is it going to spread elsewhere? And we certainly don't want it to spread elsewhere. There has not been a major war since the end of the Second World War, since 1945. Now I know all wars are bad, and there's been wars with lots of deaths, and a lot of times they don't call them wars, conflicts, police actions. I get it. Okay, I know the history of, I understand there have been wars and conflicts called other things, but on a much smaller scale than total war. World War II was total war worldwide. The entire economy of all the major countries in the world, and not so major, were in a total war mode during the Second World War. We've not had a total war situation since 1945 at the end of the Second World War for one reason and one reason only. And it's not nuclear weapons. That may have brought an end to it and may have come in handy a little bit here and there, but that's not why there has not been a Second World War. The reason there has not been a Second World War is because there's been a stabilizing force on the planet since the Japanese surrender in Tokyo Bay to General MacArthur. And that stabilizing force on the planet has been the United States of America. The United States has offered leadership and stability since 1945. And that is what's kept relative peace worldwide. I know there have been incidents, I hear you, an incident, I know I'm trivializing Vietnam, 9/11, Afghanistan, I get it. I don't need all the smarty pants getting technical. You know what I'm saying. What happened over the weekend with Biden, with the Warsaw speech, and now with these cue cards that he was given, has put this entire planet in tremendous jeopardy. Tremendous jeopardy. Because there's no stability now. In Russia right now, in the Kremlin, the Russian leadership, they're almost at this alone. Yeah, they have the Chinese, they have their friends in Iran, but all of the world right now are against Russia in one way, shape, form, or another. Everyone except China and Iran, so far as the major nations go. Without the stability of the United States, they don't know what the reactions to different things will be, the Russians. And what happened since this Warsaw speech has taken us to, the watchman with that clock. It's about to strike 12 here. And we've never been this close to complete global disaster since the end of the Second World War. Biden said something, talked about regime change in Warsaw. The White House immediately walks it back and said he went rogue and was off script and didn't mean what he said. He wasn't supposed to say that. Well, that right there causes problems. Well, what do you mean? He's the president of the United States. Who's correcting him? And there's been debate going on for 2 or 3 days, this is before the cue cards, on who's running America. Is Biden really in charge? And they probably say, yeah, And now this cue card thing comes up with the questions, word for word, that were asked by the media. It was a scripted event. And his answers, so that he doesn't go off script and speak his own mind. In Russia, they're not saying, those are just reminder cards. What they're talking about in the Kremlin is, well, who is running the United States? And because, they have a spy operation here, and they know a lot of things beyond what we know, I'm sure, because they have spies infiltrated in all areas of the government, probably. But there's probably great debate going on right now in the Kremlin, among Putin and his advisors, the Russian military and everyone else over there, and in China and in Iran, on who is running the United States. And I bet you that there are people who have different viewpoints. And the minority viewpoint that they have is that Biden's running the United States. And I know some people will say, well, it's Obama. And his conduit is Valerie Jarrett, who calls up Jen Psaki and she tells him what to do. Maybe, but we don't know that for sure. Me personally, I don't think that's exactly how it works. I think Obama's got some sway, but I think Obama is really too lazy. Remember his ridiculous birthday party he had? He was wearing those gigolo clothes, looked like he was going to the Regal Beagle. Anybody get that reference? He looked like, he had like a medallion on with the disco clothes. Obama is partying. He's not interested in the stress of responsibility. Not that he doesn't have input. But in the Kremlin, they probably have differing viewpoints on who's running the country, who's correcting the president of the United States, who's writing these note cards, who's coordinating this scripted fake press conference. Is it Obama and his team? Is it George Soros? Some of them might think in the Kremlin that there are some radical BLMers that are running things. Some may think, and by the way, the Russians are racist. Okay, they hate black people. They don't have black people in Russia. They don't like them. That would not be one of their... They may think the military is running things. Who knows? But there is not a bit of stability in this country. We do not have a leader right now. And I know everyone's saying this now. Tucker Carlson, if there was ever a time to invoke the 25th Amendment, it is now. This Poland trip is proof positive. But our only option is Kamala Harris. We can't talk about... This is not a Tom Clancy novel. This is real life. All right? This is real life. Our only option is Kamala Harris getting together with the cabinet and invoking the 25th Amendment. And when we first started seeing problems with Biden, I thought, well, she's got to be better than him. She's stupid, but at least she's got her wits about her. And then I saw this fit that she threw last week over the Converse sneakers that she was wearing in her pantsuit that got in the picture. She's as crazy as he is in a different way. So I'm sorry to report this morning, the State of the Union is not fine. The State of the Union is, we're in big trouble. Big trouble. None of this is funny. These are not punchline jokes. Who is running this country? I'd like to hear your thoughts on all of this. At 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years this year on the radio. My name is Brian Craig. We're going to take our first break of this Tuesday morning. It's March 29th, 2022. And I'll continue this discussion and touch on some other issues too. But I want to hear your thoughts on this. Am I off base? Am I hysterical? Am I spot on? What do you think about that? Also, who is running the country? How did this Q&A note card business come to be? What do you think the Russians are saying? Do you feel that we're in a dangerous situation? Would we be... These are all questions I want to hear your thoughts on. Would we be better, worse, or the same with Kamala Harris? Invoking the 25th Amendment and becoming the acting president, because there's a process there. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. We needed a new roof, and we knew we needed a new roof, but we just procrastinated. We saw wet spots on the ceilings. We called Tom Laporta, and he came out. He did a free roof inspection, which he does for everybody, not just us. And sure enough, we needed a new roof. We had a mold problem. It was only going to get worse. He dealt with our HOA association. He fixed our roof. Not only did he take care of the roof, he took care of the ceiling stains. So they removed all the popcorn, they cleaned everything up, they painted, they sealed inside and out. Everything is beautiful. And I have to tell you, when we get those hard South Florida rainstorms, it is such a pleasure to listen to the raindrops on the roof and not have to worry about it leaking or causing further problems. The staff was courteous. Tom answered every question. Call Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. He does residential and commercial properties, and his cell number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Make sure you tell him Lori Kane sent you.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here. Now with the Biostation
Wow, I mean, this
West
is,
Delray.
I'm just reading about the 25th Amendment and how it works right now, and it is,
care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just
it would be a mess.
We offer a full array of age management modalities.
It would be a mess.
Including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's
coming back.
561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Oh man, we are back 22 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Mike from Louisiana. What's up? Wesley Lewis, $5 super chat. Everyone thank Wesley.
You basically
good morning, Brian. Come on, at least take the advice of the deep state.
Why hasn't she done it yet? Why hasn't Kamala invoked the 25th? And the simple answer, the simple, easy answer, default answer is because she doesn't want the power and all that stuff. But it's more nuanced than that, I think. The fact of the matter is, if you look at it right now, he may not know it, but Jill knows it. Jill knows that Jill Biden knows that her son is in serious trouble of being indicted, and if he gets indicted, then Joe Biden
Well, I know what you're talking about. I know Jesse Waters was talking about this and others on Friday. There's word that and when I saw Dan Bongino at the Trump event the weekend before this last one, he said that the word is that Hunter's going to be indicted soon and that his dad's going to pardon him. And announce at the same time he's not running. What happened over the weekend makes all that conversation dated. What happened over the weekend in Poland with the regime change and now these no cards has put us in a whole new situation. Kamala, everyone wants the power. What Kamala is afraid of is the responsibility. I think it scares the hell out of her. But this is at a point now where he is at whatever, when people have cognitive issues, what makes it worse, what makes them more symptomatic is stress. And being president of the United States is a stressful operation no matter who you are. So he is on the verge of collapse mentally. And he may have already, if you've seen him in the last couple of 3 days. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Would we be better off with Kamala? Wesley in the chat room on YouTube, he says, well, at least Kamala would listen to the deep state. Yeah, is that a good thing? I don't know. But Biden, he's not listening to anyone at any particular time because because of the cognitive decline that he's in. Whatever he has, he's lost decision-making abilities. He's lost filtering abilities for himself. It's a disaster, and it's very dangerous.
Right, and if he had it within him, we would be saying things like, well, he's been around. The reason why they haven't done it yet is he's been around 50 years. He has a lot of trash about other people collected over it.
No, he's not capable of releasing trash right now. He's in big trouble. Hey, Mike in Louisiana, take care. What Biden needs, and this is we're in a scary situation right now. And I don't think I'm being overly panicked over this. You've seen him over the weekend. What he needs, and I'm not kidding, he needs Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bayou Station and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, I talk a lot about how it helps with your sex life, reverses menopause in women, gives you your energy back, your stamina back, you'll feel better, you'll look better, restores all naturally your hormone levels to where they were when you were in your 20s. It does all of that and a lot more. One of the things it does that I don't talk so much about because I'm not at that point in life, thankfully so, but with hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez at the Bayou Station, I never will be. But one thing that hormone replacement pellet therapy will completely turn someone around on who is dealing with cognitive decline. Hormone replacement pellet therapy does wonders with cognitive decline. So if you or someone you know is suffering from cognitive decline, like Biden, I know it's crazy, isn't it? Even if it's not that bad, just memory lapses, normal things with aging, it doesn't have to be that way. Call Dr. Mitch Matez. It's a free consultation if you're a listener of the Steve Kane Show, and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. Here's the number, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. All of our sponsors are listed on the sponsor page at SteveKaneShow.com. I put a new tab right at the top of the SteveKaneShow.com website to our sponsor page. If you missed Dr. Matez's number or any of our other sponsors, just go to SteveKaneShow.com, click that link, and they're all listed there, and you can get the contact information there. But call Dr. Mitch Matez. If Joe Biden started hormone replacement pellet therapy, if Jen Psaki called and set up the appointment and he went and met with Dr. Matez at no charge and started hormone replacement pellet therapy, it might save America. As we know, it could prevent a war. It could get the country back on track a little bit with some stability. And I would very much support that. So give Dr. Matez a call if you or someone you love is suffering from cognitive decline. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of that no-charge free consultation. Now, the 25th Amendment, in respect to what we're talking about doing because of this dangerous situation, it's never been used before. There have been times when it's used, like in Kennedy's situation, presidents having surgeries and things like this. But Section 4 of the, and I just looked this up online, and I'll read through this. Section 4 of the 25th Amendment, declaration by Vice President and Cabinet members of President's inability. Section 4 addresses the case of a president who was unable to discharge the powers and duties of the presidency, but cannot or does not execute the voluntary declaration. It allows the vice president together with a majority of either the principal officers of the executive departments or of such other body as Congress may by law provide, to issue a written declaration that the President is unable to discharge his duties. Immediately upon such a declaration being sent to Congress, the Vice President becomes acting President. While, as with Section 3, the President remains in office, although temporarily divested of authority. Okay, so Kamala would become acting President. The principal drafter of this amendment writes that Congress left the terms unable and inability undefined, since cases of inability could take various forms, not neatly fitting into a rigid definition. The debates surrounding the 25th Amendment indicate that those terms are intended to cover all cases in which some condition or circumstance prevents the President from discharging his powers and duties. Among potential examples of such unforeseen emergencies, legal scholars have listed kidnapping of the President and political emergencies such as impeachment. Traits such as unpopularity, incompetence, impeachable conduct, poor judgment, or laziness might not in and of themselves constitute inability, but should such traits rise to a level where they prevented the President from carrying out his or her constitutional duties, they still might constitute an inability, even in the absence of a formal medical diagnosis. In addition, a president who already manifested disabling traits, which are we now in a, is Biden manifesting disabling traits? I say yes. At the time he or she was elected, is not thereby immune from a declaration of inability. So it has to be Kamala with a majority of the cabinet. Acting secretaries can also participate in issuing a declaration with the vice president. If the president subsequently issues a declaration claiming to be able, so when the 25th Amendment is used to make the vice president, they don't become the president. The president is still the president. They just lose their powers and authorities. The vice president becomes acting president with the power. The president, who has been deposed through this, can issue a declaration claiming to be able. So Joe and Jill could walk up the hill and say, no, he's fit. They can challenge this. If that happens, a 4-day period begins during which the vice president remains acting president. If, by the end of this period, the vice president and a majority of principal officers have not issued a second declaration of the president's inability, then the president resumes his powers and duties. But if they do issue a second declaration within those 4 days, the vice president remains acting president while Congress considers the matter. Then, if within 21 days the Senate and the House determine, each by a 2/3 vote, that the president is unable, then the vice president continues as acting president, or otherwise the president resumes his powers and duties. So this is, the 25th Amendment is a big old hurdle to get. There's more. Section 4, requirement of a 2/3 vote of the House and 2/3 vote of the Senate, is more strict than the Constitution's requirement for impeachment and removal from office. A majority of the House followed by 2/3 of the Senate is all that's needed for the removal through an impeachment. An impeached president retains his authority unless and until the Senate votes to remove him. So this is much more complex than people realize. We'll take our break and I'll talk about it. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test
Wow.
for work or school.
This is crazy.
Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot
This is
Plaza,
really-
where Western
woo.
Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5600 5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created
No doubt,
equally.
Wookiees.
Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals.
Scary,
on
isn't
any
it?
tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Excuse me, guys. Oh, man. Scary stuff. Now, remember, Friendly Tire in Margate, new tires as low as $70 a tire. That's right. I've been buying tires at Friendly Tire, I don't know, about 15 years or so now. Long before they were a sponsor here on the Steve Kane Show. $70, as low as $70 for brand new tires out the door and on the road. And remember, when you call Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire, he'll give you a quote right over the phone. The price he gives you is out the door and on the road. He doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, dispose of your old tires. Give him a call, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Also listed at stevekaneshow.com. Friendly Tire in Margate. Okay, so I just went through a description of how the 25th Amendment works, and it ain't that simple, people. It is not simple. It's a very complex process that is completely chaotic. So the vice president, what Kamala needs to do, if she were a decent, responsible person, and she's neither, remember, she openly dated a married man as his girlfriend, Willie Brown, the mayor of San Francisco. So she's not a good person. She's a person of low moral character. She's scared to death of responsibility. She's never really been in charge of much of anything. And I think she's scared. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. She's got to do it. She's got to do it. And she needs to have a press conference announcing that she's doing it and why. And I don't think I think there would be a great sigh of relief. But so the way it works is Vice President gets the majority of the cabinet to sign off on it. Kamala Harris would become the acting president. Biden's still the president with no authority, which is kind of the position he's in right now, right? There's a 4-day period where the vice president and the cabinet have to issue a second declaration by the end of the 4 days. If they don't, things go back to the way they were before. If they do, the vice president becomes the acting president, and the president, which would be Biden, can either challenge it or not. They can say, okay, and they have to resign, and then the acting president, the vice president, is sworn in as president. If the president challenges it after the second declaration, 4 days later, Congress takes up the matter, and to complete it and remove the president and make the vice president, the acting president, the president, there has to be a 2/3 majority vote of both the House and the Senate, which is almost impossible, if not impossible. But I want to ask you, is it possible to get the two, and again, this is a bar higher than impeachment and removal from office. To impeach and remove a president from office, you only need the majority in the House to get the impeachment. It goes to the Senate. You need 2/3 majority in the Senate. You don't have to go back to the House for 2/3, just a simple majority in the House. So the bar for this is higher than an impeachment and removal. And if the president challenges this, I would imagine, it's never been done before, so this would be crazy town. They would bring in doctors, experts, attorneys, law professors, who knows? It would be chaotic. So what should be done? Should that process still be done, or would that cause even more stability than what? See, I think most people believe, okay, a vice president of the cabinet, they do it, and that's it. Steps involved. It's not that simple. So I want to ask you this: now that you know the process, which is crazy, which would cause more instability in the government? Biden, in his current state, which is really bad, or this process with the 25th Amendment that is more complex than an impeachment and removal from office, with very little chance of having a final completion if Biden were to challenge it. I think it sounds like the 25th Amendment would cause more instability than we even have now, wouldn't it? Because if he challenges it, you've got the president and the vice president, and you've got the entire federal government of the United States in a debate over who is our leader and who should be our leader, and it would be a coin toss. And what effect would that have on the stock market? Would the stock market would they have to shut down the market? What would that do to the global economy if there was a process like this, far beyond an impeachment? You know, the fake news media, the establishment, everyone who spent 4 years slandering President Trump, Stormy Daniels and all, Michael Avenatti and CNN, they have brought us to the verge of the Third World War. They have done this. We wouldn't be in this situation. We wouldn't be in danger. There would not be a war in Europe if Trump were in office right now. And everyone knows this. The fake news media and many others, but they're number one on the list, are responsible for the dangers that we are in. And all these leftists out there that want to go to war with Russia over this. You're telling us you got your climate corps. They got the money for the climate corps coming in. They're obsessed with climate change and global warming. If everyone's driving a Prius and a Tesla, what good is that if you've got a war going on where bombs are exploding? What's the carbon footprint for war, lefties? Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Mike from ST.
Hey, Mike. I mean, my goodness, this scary situation, this 25th Amendment is much more complex than people realize.
Maybe I'm being too simplistic and optimistic, but I believe that despite Biden's out-of-control personal behavior, as you said, I think Putin and the powers that be know that whatever Biden says is not the fact. When he went to Poland and made these comments, I don't think Putin really believed anything that he said would come to be. Remember when Pelosi and Milli Vanilli got together to say that Trump is not in charge of the military. So then Milli Vanilli goes to his Chinese counterpart
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, don't worry about it. There's not going to be any nuclear confrontation.
Yeah, but see, this is different. This is different because what's going on is there's a war going on today, which wasn't going on before. There's been a massive American military buildup on the border of Ukraine and Poland that's continuing. Believe me, the Russians have spies everywhere and satellites. They know what's going on. And it looks from the outside, well, even on the inside, that the United States has no leader right now at all for anything. And we've had the collapse of Afghanistan due to his losing his mind and giving orders, damn be the consequences, to get out of Afghanistan yesterday, leaving thousands of Americans behind and the whole military apparatus for the Taliban they use. So it's not the same thing. I know what you're talking. You're talking about after January 6th, when Milley took part in a military coup in cooperation with Nancy Pelosi. I know what it's worse than that.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from with that.
I mean, right now, this morning, yeah. This morning, which shows that he will use his authority when he has a fit to do something crazy. Yeah. So the Russians have got to be very concerned over who is calling the shots over here. It's not clear.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. I can see where you're coming from, but I would think, as far as the issue is like a nuclear confrontation, I think Milley and Pelosi made clear.
Wesley, did that was super chat. Thank you, everyone. Please thank Wesley.
Really on his own that they've been.
Well, they're talking now. In the news today, they're talking about how Biden was involved, or Trump was involved in a coup or something. They're throwing that word around. Well, who the hell is telling, after the President of the United States, Biden, in Warsaw, gives a speech, who signs off on saying, no, that's not U.S. policy, what the President said? Policy is what he's saying on these no cards. So, a coup, who is running this country right now? It's not Biden.
Well, I think that's clear. That's clear.
Well, I'm asking you, who is running America right now? Who is running the country?
I would, in my simplistic way, I would say the Democrat Party. Now, who's controlling the Democrat Party? That's another matter.
Yeah.
Thing was, if you look back to the primaries, Biden's not the head. He's not the lead. Party went and told all of the other nominees or potential nominees, drop out.
Now this is you're handling this like I don't think you realize the severity here. Over the weekend in Warsaw, the President of the United States called for regime change in Russia. Within minutes, without even consulting him, someone said, no, that's not what he meant to say. He wasn't supposed to say that. He went rogue. He didn't say what he was told to say. Yesterday they have a press conference. Someone has gone to Biden and said, everything you said was wrong. That's not U.S. policy. Here, Mr. President, these are the cards. This is what you are to say. It's almost like America is occupied by a foreign power and we have a fake government, like the French during the Nazi occupation or something. So there is someone running this country. It is not Biden, and it's not the Democrat Party. There's too many people to coordinate correcting him and everything too quickly. All right, hey, listen, Mike, I got to run for a break. I'm late, but thanks for the call. We'll take our break. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
Hello, I'm Dale, and I'm excited to announce my new product, My Slippers.
Wesley, the establishment is too busy with the ongoing coup of Trump. You're right. They brought us to where we're at now because they're punishing us for supporting Trump. No doubt. Right on, Wesley. Everyone, please thank Wesley.
That you won't find in any other slipper. It combines 2 layers of foam, including my proprietary My pillow foam and a patented impact gel made from U.S. soybeans. My 3-tier cushioning system is going to help relieve pressure points, provide that micro support you need for all-day comfort, and help prevent fatigue. Not only that, my slippers are made with high-quality leather and a premium indoor-outdoor sole that make them extremely durable. I personally guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable slippers you'll ever own.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on Radio.
That's right. And the MyPillow My Slippers right now 50% off. Listen, there's 2 holidays coming up. Mother's Day and right around the corner, Easter. And, stand with Mike Lindell and at the same time support the Steve Kane Show. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Save up to 66% off on all the great products there. Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, take advantage of with our promo code Kane. They are not limited to the specials that you may hear me talk about. The MyPillow My Slippers make great Mother's Day gifts. 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout. Your mom will love them. Multiple styles and colors. The MyPillow bathrobe. Mom will love that for Mother's Day. It'll be a gift she'll have for years to come. Multiple colors, multiple styles. 30% off the MyPillow bathrobes with the promo code Kane at checkout. I'll tell you what else Mom would love. The 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. My wife and I have 4 sets of these. 2 flannel, 2 regular. Right now, the Giza Dream Sheets, 60% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The MyPillow itself, that's what started everything, just $19.98 with the promo code Kane at checkout. Mom would love the MyPillow 6-piece towel set. My wife and I have these towels. They are beautiful towels. They work so well. I love them. I dry my body off with them every morning when I get out of the shower. The MyPillow towels, normally $109.99. Right now, just $39.99 with our promo code Kane. There are many other great specials there. Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, take advantage of with the promo code Kane. The MyPillow mattress topper. Mom will love it. The MyPillow mattress topper right here at MyPillow.com. 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The MyPillow throw blankets, great Mother's Day gift. The MyPillow throw blankets, 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout. There's so many great gift ideas. Those are just some. Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, take advantage of it with the promo code Kane at checkout. And there's a brand new item at MyPillow.com. Go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener specials. Easter is right around the corner. Get your kids and your grandkids a great gift for Easter. There's 2 things you can get them. The MyPillow Children's Bible Story Pillowcase for their MyPillows, and a brand new item at MyPillow.com. This is MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener specials. Great for Easter for the kids and grandkids. The MyPillow Bible Story Collection Throw Blankets that'll fit on your child's bed. Those are 30% off. And these blankets are beautiful. 30% off. There are, let's see here, 5 different blankets, each with a different story from the Bible. The Bible Stories Collection Throw Blanket, the first one tells the story of creation. The second, the story of Daniel and the lion. The third, Jonah and the whale. The fourth shows the story of baby Jesus. And the fifth, Noah's Ark. And they are just beautiful blankets with beautiful artwork, just like on those pillows. 30% off. Great gift for Easter for the kids and grandkids. So go to MyPillow.com. And again, whatever specials you see there, take advantage of with our promo code at checkout, Kane. K-A-N-E. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Morning, Brian.
Yeah. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Rod in Coconut Creek.
Rod in Coconut Creek. What's up?
Listen, I want to thank you for explaining the 25th Amendment. I had no idea it was that complex, and I imagine most people did.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's a good service. And as far as who's running the government, it's the nameless, faceless people behind Biden that tell him every day what to say, what to do. And then there's another group that gets around him and tell him what a good job he's doing and massages his ego. This country is in big.
Well, it's more than that. You know, I've thought over the last year that it was being run by committee, but committees, especially Democrat committees, are griping and debating all day long. No, there's one or two people. And you know what? The answer could simply be Jill Biden, by the way. But maybe and the Democrats, Woodrow Wilson had a stroke when he was president, and legend has it that the last year that Woodrow Wilson was president, his wife was running the country and signing his name to all the documents, including bills. So Jill Biden and these Democrats might tell, well, we have the Woodrow Wilson precedent. Now, she was breaking the law, okay, the first lady back then. So it could be Jill Biden. It could be as simple as that. But there is an individual, maybe two, that are running the major operation because their reaction to his speech was too quick, too swift, too decisive to be a committee to debate it all day.
Well, I think we have another enemy too, and that's the media. They have covered up. They have lied about.
Yeah, and they're doing it today. The media the mainstream media are a poison. They're a poison in our society.
They really are, and people need to remember what happened and what happened at the Louisville.
Okay, I think you said enough. Okay, all right, appreciate that. No, we don't want to go down that path. Oh, man. A listener sent me a book that they wrote. I just got it in the mail this morning. It was here waiting for me on the control board, and I've not read the book, but it's titled 8 Miraculous Months in the Malayan Jungle, a World War II Pilot's True Story of Faith, Courage, and Survival. And the author is Donald J. D.J. Humphrey II. And it looks like an interesting book. He's the son of the man who piloted this B-29 bomber in the Second World War that this adventure took place. And I don't know if this is just me or not, but for some reason, I think I've seen this book like at Barnes & Noble. So I don't know if you're out there, Donald J. D.J. Humphrey II, but have I seen this at Barnes & Noble? Have I seen this at the bookstore? Because it looks from. I opened it up today. I'll read this book. This is a book right down my alley, World War II history. But it just seems like the thing about living in Florida, because everyone retires to Florida. It's amazing who lives here. It's amazing who lives here. Steve and I had a personal appearance once years ago, and there was a man and his wife there, and the wife was a big fan, and she was there with her husband. Her husband was one of the original singers of the Four Tops, and I knew who he was, and I was in shock. I said, I should be coming to see you. You're coming to see me. What's this about? So, I think I've seen this at Barnes & Noble. I don't know. But that cover looks familiar. Well, anyway, thanks for the book. All right, now we're coming up on the top of the hour. The 25th Amendment, to me, going through how it works, very well may be worse than what we have right now. And that's even if we had a competent vice president. You put that on top of the fact that we have an incompetent, idiot vice president, much worse. After the top of the hour break, I'm going to play for you a piece of audio that is insane from Madison Cawthorn, our young congressman, our young MAGA Republican, very good guy, who was dropped maybe one of the biggest drug and sex scandals in the history of this country, even a greater one than the Lewinsky affair. I'm not kidding. I'm going to share that with you when we get back. If I have, I got the audio. I brought it. Yes, I do. Yes, I have the audio right here. So let's take our break for the top of the hour. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 45 years on the radio, the Steve Kane Show. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
I'll be right back.
You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great work, the incredible prices at Dr.
Yeah, I'll tell you who else
Gupta's
came
Dental.
that I meant as a sponsor. You know that actress from
Good morning. I have to talk about
what's her name that played
Dental
Blossom?
because Your sponsor is a miracle.
You know, she's got a new show now.
I fractured it and went
She was in The
backwards
Big
my
Bang
mouth.
Theory. Her grandmother was a. Oh, you got this.
I put it back into the socket. It felt like,
Yeah, you couldn't hear me. The actress that played Blossom, that's in The Big Bang Theory. Her grandmother's was a huge listener. She's passed away, but I met her at one of our sponsors. I couldn't believe. I thought she was kidding me. You never know who you'll meet in Florida. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Hold on.
I went to Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. I traveled 139 miles. I would do it again in a heartbeat, each way. Okay, the man sat and worked on my tooth for 2 hours. Put a pin in it, put it back in place. I could eat anything I want. He said it was temporary. He did such a great job. It feels like permanent. I have no pain. I can eat anything I want now. And the fact of the matter, this is what really was unbelievable. I was getting on the bus to go to the reception, okay, in New York City. He knew I was in New York. The phone rings. Who do you think's on the line?
Dr. Gupta.
Right. He wants to see if everything is going okay and if I'm in any pain. The guy is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist, and of course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's been over there at Brighton Dental. He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. He's, dentistry is an art when you stop and you think about it. And,
Steve Kane Show.
Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him.
All right. Our engineer has done some major work on our transmitter, and he's doing a test today at sunrise, which is at about 7:15. Our transmitter for our main radio station. So the next break or two, we don't know what's going to happen. He's kicking in the new system at sunrise, and it very well could blow the transmitter. We're going to find out. It's when we go from low power to high power. So, let me see. What time is sunrise here today? Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian. I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire.
7:15 is sunrise here this morning. So when we go to high power, it could blow out the transmitter or not. We'll find out. Oh boy.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires.
Yeah, Mayim Ballot, yeah. Bialik, however you say her name, yeah. Her grandmother was a big listener. I ran into her grandmother at our tire sponsor, getting tires.
For Friendly Tire in Margate.
You are listening to South Florida's longest
A gamble, how so, Rob?
The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now.
All righty. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. The Steve Kane Radio Show. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, I know, we've had some rough stuff already this morning, and we've just gotten started. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll get to some calls in a bit, but Madison Cawthorn, I love Madison Cawthorn, man. He is great. He gave an interview and has dropped the biggest sex and drug scandal in the history of the United States government. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not kidding. I'm not overblowing it. Okay? I do not do the clickbait trolling thing. If I tell you something, that's how it is. I don't overhype things. Now maybe I may get hysterical because something freaks me out, and I might be more excited about something than you are, but I don't blow things out of proportion for publicity and hyping things up. I just tell you what's going on. It's a short clip. It's about 36 to 38 seconds long. This is Madison Cawthorn in an interview dropping the biggest drug and sex scandal ever to hit the government of the United States, certainly the Washington, D.C. part of it. Listen to this.
Sexual perversion that goes on in Washington. I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington, with the average age is probably 60 or 70. And I look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life, always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, oh, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Yeah. Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove, addiction in our country. And then you watch them do, a keep up with cocaine right in front of you. And it's like, wow, this is wild.
Okay. Now, Madison Cawthorn has opened up a can of worms here. So he has seen members of Congress, and Madison Cawthorn, these are Republicans. They got to be Republicans, right? Who else would he be hanging around? The Democrats hate him. And he said these are people, he's followed politics his whole life. These are people that he's looked up to, and now he's seeing them. He said they are inviting him to sex orgies. By the way, are there orgies that are not sexual? Is saying sex orgy like saying Jewish rabbi? All rabbis are Jews, I love it when people say Jewish rabbi. It cracks me up. All rabbis are Jewish, guys, okay? They're all Jews. It can't be a rabbi unless you don't say Jewish rabbi. But are all orgies sexual? I do not know. Are there other types of orgies? But so he is saying that current members of Congress that he has grown up, and he's only like 26 years old, that he has grown up admiring, have invited, and he said plural, have invited him to sex orgies. Then he says some of them who have taken strong positions on drug policies, he's seen them do, he used a term, let me play it again.
Sexual perversion that goes on in Washington. I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington, with the average age is probably 60 or 70. And I look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life, always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, oh, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Yeah. Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove addiction in our country. And then you watch them do, a key bump of cocaine right in front of you.
A key bump of cocaine. Okay, I guess I can figure that. So he's been invited to sex orgies by members of Congress, current congressmen, and he has seen congressmen in front of him do a key bump of cocaine, which what I'm assuming is they got a big, like a whole kilo of cocaine, right? They got like a key of cocaine spread out on a table and they're doing it. Well, Madison Cawthorn has opened up a can of worms. And, of course, what do we want? We want the names. We want the names. Tudor, $1 super chat. Thank you. I want to thank Tudor for that. And let me tell you, people are going to start asking him about this. He's in big trouble right now. He is in big, big trouble. Because he has let the cat out of the bag, Madison Cawthorn. He has talked out of school. They're going to go on a move, the Republican establishment, to destroy him now and get control of him. They're going to try to, he's so a key bump, does that mean they've got like a pile of cocaine on a table? Or do they have like a brick, like I've seen in the movies of cocaine, and it's just like ripped open and they're doing it right? I don't know what that means exactly. Those are not the kind of parties I've been to. But we want names, and you know what? I don't care who those names are. I know who it's not. He said, grew up admiring. So I know it's not Matt Gaetz, too young, too new. I know it's not Marjorie Taylor Greene, too new. Right? So he said, grew up admiring. People are going to start asking him for names, and they should. I want the names. I don't care who the name is. I want the name. Who has he seen doing cocaine? Who is inviting him to sex orgies? Oh my goodness. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. I tell you, what a world we're in, huh? What a world we're in. Any of you suffer from neuropathy? Oh, man. Neuropathy, if you're suffering from neuropathy or you know someone who is, you want to call the Lighthouse Medical Center. They have treatment. Steve Kane's going through the treatment. You've heard him talk about it. It's turned his life around. He saw relief after his first treatment. Yeah. In fact, he doesn't even complain about his neuropathy anymore, Steve. And if you or someone you know has neuropathy, you know it's torture. It's really a disability. And you've heard, no treatments, no treatments. Well, we found one at the Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. And here's the thing about this. This is absolutely amazing. The Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano, a medical practice that has been in practice with the same family of physicians for 75 years in Pompano. 75 years. Same family in this medical practice right here in Pompano. So if you or someone you know is suffering from neuropathy, stop the suffering. And those of you that are out of town, you call them too. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. It's a no-charge consultation, but you got to mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joe from Coral Springs.
Are you sure? I asked, what's your name? Where are you calling from? You said, is that really your name? Is that really where you are?
I'm not too proud of knowing about this, but key bump is when a bump is when you take like your nail and you take a little bit of the coke.
Angry Pasta, $5 super chat. Everyone thank Angry Pasta.
So a key bump is when you take the key and you just scoop a little into it and you do a bump up.
Okay, so what he's describing is they have like a block of cocaine that they're ripping open and do. Oh my goodness. Who are these Republicans? Who are these Republicans?
Oh, I could only imagine.
I mean, I don't want to start naming names, but because we don't know. But Madison Cawthorn knows who invited him to the orgy, coke party. And he's seen them do the coke.
Listen, it's not only Republicans. We know this. It's all.
Yeah, but listen. No, Madison Cawthorn has seen this. He said he's been invited to the sex parties, and he's seen them do the bumps of cocaine, the key bumps of cocaine. He says these are people that he's grown up admiring because he's always followed politics. And I don't care who it is in the Republican Party. I want them out. I want them exposed. I want to know who this is. See, this is why the Republican establishment is such trash going along with Pelosi and everything. They've got all this blackmail material on all of them. They're compromised. That's why we can't get anything done. And you know, I don't think these are going to be MAGA people. If they are, they're fake MAGA. Some of these people Madison Cawthorn are talking about with the sex orgies and the sex parties at their house. That means they're not even hiding it and openly doing cocaine. And he's new up there, and they're doing this. These are probably some of the people that President Trump is trying to get out of office. These rhinos. We need names.
That's why Trump stands out from them, because he doesn't do drugs, and he's not a lowlife that sleeps around with other people with his wife. That's why he stands out. He can't be bought,
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I think Madison Cawthorn has a duty to share with us who these people are, don't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope he does.
All right. Hey, listen, thanks for the call, Joe from Coral Springs. And notice I didn't ask you how you know about the key bump. That's fine. That's fine. I can figure that one out. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, conservative.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Something's not right. If this guy
Angry
is
Pasta,
such a straight shooter, why did he go to the party to see what's going on there? Something's not right here. I don't get it.
No, I've when I first got on the air, I've got invited to parties by people that are well-known radio personalities. This is many years ago. I don't party now. I'm a family man. But I went to a party at the house of a very, 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 very well-known top radio personality in the market in the time. One of the top couple of people, and I was in the house 30 seconds, and they were offering me drugs. You know, I mean, this is, you know, and I didn't partake, by the way. But yeah, and they were I don't even know, things I'd never seen before, I'll tell you that, and it was not marijuana. You know, so that's, you know, people that are in that lifestyle, they don't, you get invited, they're famous, you go, you don't know what you're going to see when you get there.
They told him it was a sex party and he went.
No, he said he didn't, he didn't go to the orgies. But he's seen them do the bumps of cocaine out of the key bumps of cocaine. Now that could just, I don't know where that came from.
That's really amazing, man. If they're really doing this, then they got to get out. And the swamp is a lot deeper than we thought. Unbelievable.
You know, and I'll tell you, I have been to, I've seen people do cocaine and stuff. Okay, at I have been to, when I was in my pre-married days, and you know, and I would had a lot of friends. You know, there's a crossover between radio and TV people, and I'd been to parties at clubs, like at, you know, at the club owner has his own club in the back of the real club, and you see very famous people that you see on television giving you the news, sometimes covering crime. You know, doing cocaine and stuff like this. So when you, and they're not, and because you're in a club, so you're not, they don't think anybody's going. It's like Eyes Wide Shut mentioning he's in a club now. I think his membership's going to be revoked because there's some people panicked right now because this is all over the internet. It just is starting to break.
That's for sure. This guy, if he opens his mouth anymore, they may just bump him off. I'm telling you.
All right, you just don't have a filter. You just don't have a filter. How many times I got to tell you? All right, well, oh boy. Well, let me take a break while the delay builds back up. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take a break. I wasn't going to, but Doug is out of control, and I got to wait for the delay to build back up before we take more calls. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Back after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here.
All right, now let me see if, hold on. I'm going to check and see how the change in power went with the transmitter. Hold on. I may not be able to tell. We did get knocked off the air, but I can't get a good signal on that radio.
$977-9445. Don't waste time going anywhere else. You will never find prices as low as Friendly Tire in Margate. Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day.
I mean, that, Madison Cawthorn, he's in big trouble with that.
Pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call them directly electronically. 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide. 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my new product, My Slippers. They took me over 2 years to develop because I didn't want just an ordinary slipper. My slippers are meant to be worn all day long, no matter what you're doing, whether you're inside or outside. My slippers come with an exclusive 3-tier cushioning system that you won't find in any other slipper. It combines 2 layers of foam, including my proprietary My Pillow foam and a patented impact gel made from U.S. soybeans. My 3-tier cushioning system is going to help relieve pressure points, provide that micro support you need for all-day comfort, and help prevent fatigue. Not only that, my slippers are made with high-quality leather and a premium indoor-outdoor sole that make them extremely durable. I personally guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable slippers you'll ever own.
And right now, save 40% off the My Pillow My Slippers when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Yeah, and that My Pillow slipper special updated. It's now 50% off. Great Mother's Day gift. 50% off the My Pillow My Slippers with the promo code KANE at checkout. K-A-N-E. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, hey, Richie.
I'm not going to brag because I'm going to let people know. So this doesn't surprise
In the
me.
wild parties.
Jonathan Cawthorn they were trying to go after him. They said, I believe they said he had a weapon January 6th on his person, and he didn't try to really get out of the...
Well, but he's confined to a wheelchair, so the Capitol breach must have been incredibly terrifying to him in particular.
Yeah, they're threatening him. So here's the deal, okay? I know this is true. He did this on purpose. He didn't do it. It wasn't a slip of the tongue. It's a warning shot out there to all of these people going after him. You have to understand something too. Years ago, and at my age,
here comes the
I've
bragging.
done for a lot.
Here comes the bragging
Years
about the
ago,
parties.
I went in, and this is real quick. I went in against a lawyer and went up to Judge Leroy Moe, who was a criminal judge, in his chambers, and I almost got thrown in jail for going against this lawyer. It was about money. And then we got on the elevator.
No, you're not going to mention... You're mentioning Nate. Richie, you can't do that. All right? No, you're not. Go talk to your friends in the living room. You're not going to mention names with stuff like that today. Jeez. And we don't need to hear the bragging, okay? So CNN has reported on this. Now, if you're just tuning in, let me play the clip, and then I'll share the CNN story. Madison Cawthorn gave an interview, and this just came out. Listen.
Sexual perversion that goes on in Washington. I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington with the average age of probably 60 or 70. And I look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life, always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, oh, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Yeah. Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove addiction in our country, and then you watch them do, keep up with cocaine right in front of you, and it's like, wow, this is wild.
Okay, so that's Madison Cawthorn. CNN has a story on this. Came out yesterday. Madison Cawthorn claims he was invited to an orgy in Washington. CNN's reporting, North Carolina Republican Representative Madison Cawthorn claimed that he's been invited to an orgy in Washington and had personally seen leaders in the efforts to curb drug addiction doing cocaine. Cawthorn, who was elected in 2020 as the youngest person ever to serve in Congress, made the comments during an appearance on the Warrior Poet podcast. The host was asking Cawthorn how close the fictitious TV show House of Cards was to real life as a member of Congress. That's where that came from. That clip I just played you was his answer. It's not clear, CNN writes, whether Cawthorn is suggesting that members of Congress have invited him to orgies or just other people in Washington. No, it's very clear. Although after listening to his comments several times, it seems to be the former. It's very clear. His allegations of seeing people in Washington doing cocaine, either way, Cawthorn is making some very serious allegations here. with zero proof. He has his eyewitness testimony. CNN says they've reached out to Cawthorn's office for comment but have not yet heard back. Cawthorn and controversy have gone hand in hand since he was elected by the seat previously held by Mark Meadows. Of course, Mark Meadows, Chief of Staff to President Trump. Earlier this month, CNN reported Cawthorn was facing charges of driving with a revoked driver's license, the second time he's been flagged for that violation in the last 5 years. He also drew negative attention when a video surfaced of a recent speech where he called Zelensky a thug and called the Ukrainian government incredibly evil. Cawthorn tried to defuse the situation with a tweet in which he noted that Putin and Russia are disgusting, but added leaders, including Zelensky, should not push misinformation on America. In March of 2021, CNN reported on a series of allegations of sexual misconduct made against Cawthorn by women who said he behaved inappropriately to them during his college years. He's denied any wrongdoing. The ball on this matter is now very much in Cawthorn's court. He made some very big allegations. Can he back them up? Okay, Madison Cawthorn, they're attacking him for making allegations. CNN's going with allegations against him of sexual misconduct, which he's denied. What evidence do they have of that? No, Cawthorn needs to speak very clearly on this. And, they tried to get him off the ballot in North Carolina is where he represents, I believe, and they were unsuccessful. He went to court and he beat it. And these things, see, he's MAGA, and he doesn't play ball with them. Now that he's done this, he's in big trouble. He's in big trouble. They're putting the screws against him. Now, he's 26 years old. He doesn't have a lot of baggage, okay? It's hard to get something on a 26-year-old. He hasn't been corrupted yet. They may get some girls that he made some moves in college. I don't know, but that's not going to be enough. Madison Cawthorn needs to name names, and I want to hear those names, don't you? And I don't care who they are. If they are top Republicans, so be it. Good riddance. They're not MAGA. It very well could help President Trump clear the way for some of these people that he is supporting in the primaries. We're in strange territory, people. See, this is Madison Cawthorn's part of the MAGA movement of President Trump's. And what's going on with Madison Cawthorn here is very, very much what Trump has gone through, right? He's not part of the club. He's not compromised. He's not one of these people that has been groomed their entire life to be in government, okay? Just came into it quite by accident with this MAGA wave, and they can't control him. They've got this eyes wide shut freak show in Washington where the establishment of both parties are one. Carrie Lake calls it the uniparty, and they have these drug and sex parties going on. They're all compromised. They're all phonies, and this is why they hate Trump. This is why they're after him. This is why they're after Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I do believe Madison Cawthorn owes it to the American people to tell us who he has seen doing the cocaine with his own eyes and who has invited him to orgies. I don't care what the name is. If it's someone that I support and admire, well, I'll have to check that admiration. That'll be it. We need to know. We're coming into an election season, and he's in the House, so he's talking about members of the House of Representatives. The entire House is up for re-election. This would be wonderful. Let's hear the names, Madison Cawthorn. All right, we're coming up on our bottom of the hour break. When we get back, there's much more to talk about. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Indeed it is, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back after this.
Attention seniors, protect yourself and your your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry.
Say that? I can't get it in here. There's too much interference.
Trust Seminar.
Does it sound louder?
1-855.
Yeah, it's got more. AM has got a lot more punch.
855 FLA 3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855 352 3782. 1-855 352 3782.
But the AM's fine.
Yeah.
So you've been told you need a health test. What are you going to have to pay? Health tests can be very expensive if you go to your doctor's office or one of the big labs.
No, he didn't get it out there. No, he didn't get it out there. He was getting ready to say the name of some attorney that he, he's an idiot.
Any lab test now of Coral Springs' goal is to get you all the lab tests you need, save you money, and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less.
No. He was just about to. Well, he's an idiot. Well, these people,
5983 954 906 5983. Any lab test now with Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Any lab test now with Coral Springs. Private.
Well, that's because they're old.
Lab testing 954.
The people Madison Cawthorn, he said they're like in their 60s and 70s, right?
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-380-8893.
No, Richie. I did not tag along. Steve and I did not go clubbing together.
8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
No.
Just search for WWNN.
All righty. Richie the bus driver's upset. You can't do what you're doing on the radio. Do that with your friends in your living room, Richie. Oh, man. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. So Madison Cawthorn, boy, he just, and you know what confirmation is that story of Madison Cawthorn's is true is? You know what the confirmation is? That it's not at the top and bottom of every hour. Because if it were not true, the television mainstream corporate media would be on a move to destroy his reputation. Okay, I'm looking here on our chat room on YouTube. I don't usually do this, but Richie the bus driver, he didn't like the way the call went. So, Richie the bus driver wrote in the YouTube chat room, Brian used to tag along with Steve going to some of these crazy clubs years ago, so he thinks he's an experienced man. I've got boots 150 times more crap than Brian, and that's a fact. No, Steve and I did not go clubbing together. We did not go clubbing together. Many years ago, we had a Steve Kane TV show on cable access TV. I'll just tell you this real quick, because this is what Richie's referencing, and it's very funny. We had a cable access television show. And you guys remember people doing cable access television shows? Cable access is amazing. There are no limits. And the Steve Kane television show on cable access is too hot even for YouTube. I've got all the shows. There's over 100 of them on VHS tape in storage in my home. And we used to. A lot of people may remember Midnight Blue in New York. While we didn't go as far as Midnight Blue, the Steve Kane cable access television show was in the late 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, but it was very risque because on cable access, there were no rules, but you're trying to get attention, and we did some crazy things. And we had a camera crew. We had one guy in particular who used to work with us at the old 1400 WFTL, a name some of you will remember, Nick Lawrence. And Nick Lawrence would mostly go with us. This was before YouTube, and cameras were pretty big. And we used to go to crazy places. We went to a swingers club, and we did an episode on swingers, and we interviewed people at the swingers club in the middle of the night, like at 2 in the morning. We went to the swingers club and interviewed people. Let me tell you something. You do not want to go to a swingers club. It was in Fort Lauderdale. I felt like it. I've never been to Thailand, but Thailand probably is a lot like the swingers club. And I've talked about this with Steve on the air. It was crazy. At about 3 or 4 in the morning, they brought out a buffet at the swingers club. And Steve, with the people at the swingers club, descended and started eating from the buffet. And the buffet had like eggs and sausage and bacon. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere near that place. Where you're at. Steve didn't mind. And, we went to some other strange places like that for the television show. But no, Steve did not. Steve and I have never hit the clubs together beyond going for crazy interviews on the Steve Kane cable access television show many years ago. But one day I'll show those to everyone. There's some of them are so hot I can't even show them on the internet. We might have to. There is one show on what is on Vimeo. If you go to Vimeo and type in the Steve Kane Show, there is one Steve Kane show that's on Vimeo that is it's not politics. But you'll get a kick out of it. Wait till after we go off the air at 9 o'clock, okay? Vimeo, remember Vimeo? Vimeo's still around, isn't it? Haven't heard of it in a while. If it's still around, the show's there. The Steve Kane Show on Vimeo. Check it out. All right, so back to the issues at hand. So this thing with Madison Cawthorn, though, I'm interested in that. Now, one last thing that's unrelated to the politics of the day, and then we'll get back to Biden and the 25th Amendment and what happened yesterday, and I have some audio that I want to share with you. From the press conference yesterday, and we also got to get to maybe some of the audio from over the weekend we didn't get to because we were sidetracked on yesterday's show on the Will Smith thing. Lara Logan is an incredible investigative journalist. Okay? She is amazing. Some of her reporting will just blow your mind, and she did a story, and she's been let go by Fox. Her agent dropped her. They're out to destroy Lara Logan, and it's really a terrible thing. She was sexually assaulted reporting on the Muslim Spring. Remember that? That's how she became famous. And I saw a story that she did on Fox Nation, which was amazing. She went to the town in Mexico on their side of the border. It's a border town where almost all of the sex trafficking goes through into the United States, and how it's a boom town again since Trump's not in office with Biden. And she did this entire piece on the sex trafficking, and she was almost abducted. She's doing this report. She has top security people with her, and they get surrounded by the Mexican police who tell them that their life's in danger. There's some people waiting for them up ahead because they're reporting on this sex trafficking. That's Lara Logan. She's amazing. And shame on Fox News for dropping her. She made some comments about Fauci. Remember this? Remember she was criticizing Dr. Fauci, which everybody criticizes Dr. Fauci, and Fox News fired her for it. A woman who's been sexually assaulted for her reporting. She's a tough lady, and she didn't stop what she was doing. She's continued to be an investigative journalist. You know, Fox News, they got all these women sitting on the outnumbered couch. They're not going out and getting stories like she has done. And for them to throw her under the bus and not have the support of women over there at Fox News, it's pretty disgusting. I think she's spectacular. Well, she gave an interview, and they're using this all over the place to try to destroy her credibility. And I just want to play a clip of it. And it's from Mediaite, and they're calling her Unglued. The headline is Unglued Lara Logan. And she, let me tell you, you may not like what she says, but she is not unglued. She is spot on in all of her reporting. And there's a major move to discredit Lara Logan by the mainstream media. She's had zero support. You know, there have been women who have been sexually harassed, some say even assaulted in newsrooms by people, right? All these claims against Matt Lauer and Roger Ailes and stuff. But she was sexually assaulted by men in the street while she was covering the Muslim Spring. She wasn't in Egypt where that happened. I mean, this is, yeah. I mean, she didn't put herself in positions that she should not have been in, like, you know, some of these other stories. And these other women that you hear about from the newsrooms are held up as heroines and role models and everything. Lara Logan is awesome. So now they're trying to destroy her because she said something about Darwin. They're trying to paint her as an anti-Semitic religious nut. Listen to this. This is Lara Logan's comment, just a little comment about Charles Darwin and how that came to be.
Darwin. I mean, when I found out, does anyone know who employed Darwin, where Darwinism comes from?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you know, look it up. The Rothschilds.
Yeah.
It goes right back to 10 Downing Street.
All the way.
And the same people who employed Darwin, and that's when Darwin, you know, wrote his theory of evolution and so on and so on. And I'm not saying that none of that is true.
Right.
Okay, so now there's stories all over the place. She's unglued. She's anti-Semitic. Now, I've never heard this before, that Charles Darwin got his funding from the Rothschilds. I don't know. I do know that evolution is BS. It's a theory. And what year did Charles Darwin travel around? 18 what? You know, the left, they call us science deniers, and here they are with no evidence to back this up, or using science of the 1800s to back this theory of evolution that has come up that there's no scientific evidence of, right? And they're using this science that's 150 years ago almost, old, and she's unglued for questioning it? Well, you know, that's what they do, right? When, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lara Logan, they don't like them, so what do they do? What do they do? Call them anti-Semites. You know, and there are certain things when they start attaching them to people, you know, they stick with a lot of people, and they start to lose credibility. They have I don't know what it is about Lara Logan. I know what she did about Fauci. Why are they still after her? You know, but I mean, I'd give a word of advice. When you're talking about these things, don't bring, you know, when you're dealing with these people that are very evil on the left, you have to understand what they are capable of doing. So if you have a story like this, okay, about Darwin that she wants to reference, tell the story, tell everything, but leave the Rothschilds out of it. You don't want to give them the material, you don't want to give them the ammunition to use against you. Where they can call you a racist. They can call you an anti-Semite. These are the things that they like, because there's certain things that will discredit you without any backup. Like, look what they tried to do with the great Marjorie Taylor Greene. The Jewish space lasers. She never said that, but that stuck to her. Okay, so you don't want to give these people the ammunition they need to bring you down. All right, we're going to take our last break of the second hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. When we get back, I'm going to get back into Biden, play some of the audio from the press conference yesterday, which was on those note cards that he had. Ducey's question and answer wasn't on the note card we saw, but some of the others were. We'll get to all of that after this break. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free from anywhere at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631.
Brian Craig here. You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great job Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting did on his new roof. We have on the line John from Wellington, one of our regular callers. He just had his roof repaired by Laporta Contracting, and he wanted to share his experience.
Thanks to
Chuck.
the Steve Kane Show, my roof repairs were just completed by Laporta Contractors. They were fast, professional, and the cost of the repairs was very reasonable. I had 4 sections of roof repaired, and upon initial inspection, they were honest and told me that my roof was good and I didn't need a new one. I called many roofers, and they were all scammers. They all wanted to put on a new roof, and they said they wouldn't repair what I had. Thanks, Brian. Another fantastic sponsor.
Wow, that's an amazing testimonial from John in 602. That number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com.
Hello, we're busy. All our
I
employees are busy.
hit the wrong one. There we go.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to announce my new product, My Slippers. They took me over 2 years to develop because I didn't want just an ordinary slipper. My slippers are meant to be worn all day long, no matter what you're doing, whether you're inside or outside. My slippers come with an exclusive 3-tier cushioning system that you won't find in any other slipper. It combines 2 layers of foam, including my proprietary My Pillow foam and a patented impact gel made from U.S. soybeans. My 3-tier cushioning system is going to help relieve pressure points, provide that micro support you need for all-day comfort, and help prevent fatigue. Not only that, my slippers are made with high-quality leather and a premium indoor-outdoor sole that make them extremely durable. I personally guarantee they're going to be the most comfortable slippers you'll
Steve
ever
Kane
own.
Show.
And right now, save 40% off.
Steve Kane Show.
My Slippers when you use
Hold on.
promo code KANE, K-A-N-E,
Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Checkout at mypillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All righty. Oh, man. Yeah, Madison Cawthorn about to bring down the Republicans, or unless they bring him down first. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Not to bring you down.
Oh, my God. Hello? Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, you got listen on your phone, not on the device. There's a long delay. Whatever device you're listening to me on, that's like maybe a minute ago, all right? Perry, Florida. Oh, my goodness. Is Perry, Florida, where the state mental institution is located? What's in Perry? Oh, my God. I'm glad I made you laugh, you and your loser stoner friends. All right. The rest of you on hold, stand by. I'm reluctant to take any more calls right now. Now, I made a prediction last week, and it's starting to come true, about Clarence Thomas and his wonderful wife. You know, Clarence Thomas and his wife, these are good people. And Clarence Thomas's wife has been involved with conservative activism politics for a long time. She was one of the most vocal Tea Party people on the national level when the Tea Party was out there in 2010, 2011, 2012. She was going openly to Tea Party meetings. It was amazing. And of course, she's MAGA. And they've recently, in the last couple of weeks, started going after Clarence Thomas's wife, even when he was in the hospital, because she was text messaging Meadows or something. So what? You know? They're inside the Washington bubble. They all know each other. They text each other. What does that mean? That they text, right? And I told you what they're trying to do is get Clarence Thomas off the bench. So here they are. They've got their phony baloney January 6th committee, and they're beginning this discussion now openly. It's from Dick Durbin. Senate Judiciary Chairman Dick Durbin calls on Clarence Thomas to recuse himself from January 6th cases over his wife Ginny's text messages to Mark Meadows on January 6th. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And, you know, what they're trying to do, I've talked about this quite a bit, and it's very important for you to understand, okay? They are trying to get some ruling from the January 6th committee to get some type of court, some type of charge, some type of finding that shows that Donald Trump took part in an insurrection and keep him off the ballot if they can in primaries and in the general election in 2024. That is what they are moving to do. And they're thinking a few steps down the road now. They know whatever they're planning is going to go to the Supreme Court. We've got the Supreme Court. They're trying to get Clarence Thomas out of the way so far as being able to render an opinion on that. Because we know some people, like the Chief Justice, are Republican in name only up there and will turn on President Trump. This is, believe me, the rally on Saturday night, which I know you guys watched, I watched it. Was that not amazing? You know, doesn't he look great? When I saw him at the event here in Fort Lauderdale the Saturday before, I told you he looked great, he sounded great, he was very relevant to everything that's going on right now, and he's turning out thousands and thousands of people. There were about 30,000 people at that Georgia event, and believe me, they're very well aware of his popularity, and they're terrified of it. And they're not done. You know, here we've got this senile old coot with the note cards who is suffering from senility at a level we've never seen in a president before. Never seen. You know, I remember they used to say that President Reagan had Alzheimer's in his last year in office. Maybe, but he was with it. I saw him on so many interviews and things on television, and sometimes I'll see some old things. You know, he did his last year in office, President Reagan did a ton of interviews from the residents. I've seen many of them. He was with it like you wouldn't believe. Joe Biden, oh man, and I'll tell you, when I hear President Trump speak, about the same age, you put them together, it's night and day, isn't it? Night and day. Now, so they're panicked about Trump as opposed to talking about what's going on with Biden. Now, Biden yesterday had these scripted exchanges, but then he had the Ducey run-in, and let me share this. Peter Ducey, Steve Ducey must be so proud. Peter Ducey did a very good job with Biden yesterday. Here's the exchange with Fox News Channel's Peter Ducey and Biden.
I'm worried that other leaders in the world are going to start to doubt that America is back if some of these big things that you say on the world stage keep getting walked back.
But what's getting walked back?
It made it sound like, just in the last couple days, it sounded like you told U.S. troops they were going to Ukraine. It sounded like you said it was possible the U.S. would use a chemical weapon, and it sounded like you were calling for regime change in Russia, and we know...
None of the three occurred.
None of the three occurred?
None of the three.
Mr. President?
You interpret the language that way. I was talking to the troops. We were talking about helping train the troops that are the Ukrainian troops that are in Poland. That's what the context.
Yeah, he's not walking anything back, even though he has walked it back. And you hear how he's talking. He can hardly speak. Even with the note cards, he can hardly speak.
1, 2.
Mr. President, I still want to get back to your original words that he cannot remain in power. Can you help us understand, you have more foreign policy experience than any president who's ever held this office. Whether those are your personal feelings or your feelings as president, do you understand why people would believe you, as someone commanding one of the largest nuclear arsenals in the world, saying someone cannot remain in power is a statement of U.S. policy? And also, are you concerned about propaganda use of those remarks by the Russians?
No and no.
Tell me why. You have so much experience. You are the leader of this country.
Because it's ridiculous. Nobody believes we're going to take down. I was talking about taking down Putin. Nobody believes that. Number one. Number two, what have I been talking about since this all began? The only war that's worse than one intended is one that's unintended. The last thing I want to do is engage in
Steve Kane Show.
a land war or a nuclear war with Russia.
Steve Kane Show.
That's not part of it. I was expressing my outrage at the behavior of this man. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. And it's more an aspiration than anything. He shouldn't be in power. There's no, people like this shouldn't be ruling countries, but they do.
Okay, now, of course he said it. We heard him say it, and it was played all weekend. I can pull it up and play for you if we need be, but you've heard it. Now, the question is he lying? Does he not remember saying it? Because he said he didn't say it, right? But here it is.
Sake, this man cannot remain in power.
This man cannot remain in power. What is it? So the question is he knowingly lying? Is he so pathological that he doesn't know the difference between, and he's just saying what he's got to say to get through any moment? Or is he so checked out he doesn't remember saying it? Yeah, it's a serious question. And we need some real answers.
There were reports about the wife of Justice Thomas.
Steve Kane Show.
In text that she had with former White House
Hey, hold on, Jim.
Should Justice Thomas recuse himself from any cases involving the January 6th insurrection or former President Trump at this point?
I leave that to two entities.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, ask the second question.
No, two entities. Go ahead. Sorry.
You got off the script from the card there. So anyway, you see how this is now coming out? They're getting the discussion going. Should Justice Thomas recuse himself? Why the hell should he? Why the hell should he? Because his wife sent text messages to Mark Meadows? See, they're getting that dialogue out there to try to make the move to get Thomas out of the way, which means they have already conned some Republicans on the Supreme Court to play ball with them. All right, now it's time to check in with Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace in Pompano with the Health Report. Janet Cimarelli, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. The Morning Health Report. I'm talking about what
Steve Kane Show.
You can find at AJ's Natural Wellness
Hold
Shop
on.
in the Festival Marketplace. Oh my goodness, such bargains. 20% off our already reduced discounted prices on every vitamin, mineral, supplement formula. So if you want to save some money, now's the time to come into AJ's Wellness Spring Sale. Oh my goodness, 10% off already discounted prices.
That's a great deal.
It's a fabulous, fabulous deal. So, people out there, maybe they're dealing with arthritis and they have difficulty getting around. We have magnesium. We have Wiley's Peak EPA to reduce inflammation and certainly the swelling and pain that goes along with arthritis. We have Rheuma Art. Rheuma Art, oh my goodness, people take it and they come back time after time after time for more Rheuma Art capsules. It's just almost instant relief from pain. And then there's Solgar 7, one a day for 7 days. And by the 7th day, a dramatic reduction in arthritis, pain, and inflammation. And then all kinds of good things for your heart, for stress, for your brain, for your energy. Lots and lots of different protein powders too. And again, these are all dramatically discounted for AJ's Natural.
Yeah.
Talk to me, bring their blood work, they can tell me what their symptom might be, and I can guide them to.
Now, take advantage of this spring sale. If you can't make it in, order by phone. You can call AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851, or stop by in person. AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace, the festival just east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road. And, of course, AJ's back by the food court in front of that information booth. Great spring sale going on. Janet Cimarelli, we'll talk tomorrow. We will. Have a wonderful day. All right, take care. Let's squeeze a call in before the top of the hour. Steve Kane will be joining us in the next hour. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Jeff, Number, Michigan.
All right, Jeff from Michigan, what's on your mind?
Hey, man, I'm just trying to let everybody know, man. In the White House, the windows and doors.
Okay, this is why we've not been taking many calls today, people, and it's also why we have a delay. Oh man, when you're listening, the delay is different depending on where you're listening. If you're listening on one of our radio stations, the delay is minimum 40 seconds. Yeah, I know. It can be longer on some of them. If you're listening online, it can be as long as 90 seconds, depending on where you're listening. But there's a reason. There's a reason. All right, listen, we'll take our break for the top. I shouldn't have squeezed that one last call in. After the top of the hour break, Steve Kane will be joining us. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. I'm going to recap the Madison Cawthorn story, which is the largest, the biggest sex and drug scandal ever to hit Washington. We'll take our break and be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do, and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Stacy from Deerfield Beach. This is in reference to Champagne Automotive. I went over there. They're wonderful. I have a Kia Optima Eco Hybrid. When I called, it needed service. I didn't want to bring it to the dealership because they would charge me through the roof. And basically, when I did call, they said bring it in the next day. He's amazing. He did everything. He didn't overcharge me. He went through my car, and I would recommend anybody to go to him. He's absolutely amazing.
Well, Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca, they do great work, and I want to thank you for calling. And I learned something about Champagne Automotive Repair from you in this call. I did not know that they actually did repairs on hybrid vehicles.
What had happened was, when I brought it to the dealership, they were like, well, we want to do this, we want to do that. And when I heard about Champagne Automotive, I called. When I got there, and I said, he goes, well, I already ordered the oil filter.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. And so I dropped it off. I don't have many people to take me back home. And so he ordered Uber for me.
Wow.
Yes.
That's service. Thank you for the call as well. And anyone else out there, Champagne Automotive Repair, their prices are great. They'll never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. Their number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And what's your name, caller?
My name is Stacy, and thank you very much, Champagne Automotive. And thank you very much, Brian and Steve.
For Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now.
All righty. We are back. Third hour has begun 4 minutes after the hour. It's Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio. This year, The Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, boy. I was good. I was trying to call you last night with some info, but my calls were rejected. Or I didn't get it. Yeah. No, the phone's not the problem. You just weren't answering. I figured you were busy or were avoiding me.
If my phone was on.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'll have to tell you after the show.
It was not the only phone problem I had to live.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, listen, we all got problems, but nothing. They can't wait for 55 minutes at 9 o'clock. I'll call you. Well, we got some, the thing with the note cards. Oh, you want to do that one first? Okay, I'll play. You'll like this one, Steve. It involves drugs and sex. No, let me recap it and I'll play it. This is huge. Madison Cawthorn, the youngest man ever elected to Congress. He's 26 years old. He's a congressman from North Carolina. He's the good-looking kid in the wheelchair. You guys know who he is. And they've really been after him. And he's one of these. He's MAGA. He's one of these guys who finds themselves in Congress quite by accident. They're popular in their town. They run. They get elected, and it was a vacant seat. It was Mark Meadows' old seat, so he went right in, and he's not part of the political establishment club, and he's been running. They've been harassing him quite a bit, and he gave an interview and dropped, without naming names yet, the biggest drug and sex scandal we've ever heard out of Washington, D.C. Now, he's only been up there just over a year, right, because he's in his first term. So he gave an interview. This is Madison Cawthorn, and it's pretty amazing. Listen.
Sexual perversion that goes on in Washington. I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington with the average age of probably 60 or 70. And I look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, oh, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy.
Okay, so that's part one. So members of Congress who are currently in Congress have invited him to sex orgies, and then he goes on.
Or the fact that there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove addiction in our country, and then you watch them do keep up with cocaine right in front of you, and it's like, wow, this is wild.
Okay, so he has seen members of Congress, I'm assuming Republicans, since he's a Republican, they inviting the sex orgies at their house, and he has seen them do cocaine in front of him. I want to hear some names. And I believe him. I've been following Madison Cawthorn. He's a very honest guy, and CNN has even reported on it and are challenging him to name names. They say he's provided no evidence, other than his eyewitness testimony, by the way. He's provided no evidence. And the fact that CNN even mentioned it tells me that they're worried. But I've never heard somebody in Congress talk that way, Steve. Have you?
Big statement.
Well, it is now. Now, the next interview he does, well, wait till the next interview. And hopefully the interviewer will demand that he name names, because we need to know these names. And I'm going to assume that they're Republicans. We know they're in their 60s and 70s, okay, because he said that. He said he's followed politics his whole life. He said this in the whole thing. These are people that he's followed and admired his entire life, and they're inviting him to sex orgies, and he has seen them do cocaine in front of him. So I think we've got to hear the names. And he... No, I wasn't trying to reach you about a news story. I was trying to reach you about something else that's for off the air. But I'm not gonna say. I'll tell after we get off the air at 9. I will call you, and I'll tell you then. I can't tell you now. We're on the air, and I can't tell you during the break because I got the live stream going on YouTube, and everybody will hear the conversation. And it's a conversation we don't want the masses to hear. So I'll call you at 9. I'll call you at 9. Steve, now this is a huge... This is a bigger scandal than the Lewinsky scandal, Madison Cawthorn, if he starts... And you know, when the Lewinsky affair first came out, the first drop of it was vague. We didn't have a name. We didn't have an individual. We knew nothing. It was very vague, and then it started slowly coming out, and that didn't involve drugs. That involved consensual sex. And when he's talking about drug-filled orgies, maybe this is just my fantasy, but drug-filled orgy, you know, that sounds like hookers, not like consenting adults. But Clinton and Lewinsky, it was wrong, it was inappropriate, of course, but it was consensual between two adults who weren't breaking the law. In this instance, we're talking about illegal drug use and a large quantity of it, because he said a key bump, which means that there's a large quantity of cocaine, which is, you know, you could put people in prison for a long time. So they're in possession of a large quantity of cocaine, and they're doing it. So there's some hardcore crimes right there, and the prostitution would be the least of it. But I think it's a pretty big scandal, and I'm interested in knowing more about it. And one of the things that makes it real is that the liberal media aren't running with what is an obvious Republican drug and sex scandal, because it'll expose Republicans that the mainstream liberal media like. So we know it's not like Matt Gaetz, for example, because he said these are people in their 60s and 70s that he's admired all his life. Matt Gaetz is young, and he's not been there that long. So these are. I'm not going to do what Richie does and start naming names of people that he's seen do drugs in elevators, but I'll, when I call you about the other thing, I'll tell you off the air. But I have one person in particular I'm thinking it is. Yeah, but I don't want to say on the air because we didn't get the name yet from Madison Cawthorn of who these people may be. But I think what he said was very specific, without the name so far. And if they're not discussing this on Fox today, you know they're nervous. These are some of their friends. And I think don't you think we're entitled to know who he's talking about?
No more before I can comment.
Well, he said, why?
Ask me a question. I can't comment when there's nothing to comment on.
Oh, no, there is. I mean, there is. And there is a lot to comment. All right, our number, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Andrea, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
I'm very well, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
So, I don't only think it's Republican with Madison Cawthorn, right? Because Democrats are just they're like demonic people. So, I think that there is definitely honeypots on the Democratic.
Yeah, but who would be... Well, he said what Madison Cawthorn said. Let me play it again. Listen to what he said carefully, because it gives us a lot of information. Listen.
Sexual perversion that goes on in Washington. I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington with the average age of probably 60 or 70. And I look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, oh, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy.
Okay, so we know they're men. And obviously Democrats do these things too, but if they're people that he's been following and admiring his whole life, and they're inviting him to parties, I would assume that those are Republicans.
Probably a safe assumption.
It might.
What's your theory, Andrea?
I think that it's both. Because so what's a better way to compromise a junior member? It's get them involved.
Well, that's right. What they were trying to do was get him to go and do it and partake so that they had the blackmail material on it. See, these members in government are either people that have been groomed their whole life for these things and have been compromised a long time ago, or maybe a family connection, or they got blackmail material on him. So he was being invited to these sex orgy drug parties to try to get him to do something so they could get evidence of this, videotapes and things, so that they could get him off their backs and get him to go along with them.
I think that's a smart move what he did. That was a warning shot. But it was a warning shot. It's like, well, if you remove me off this ballot, guess what's going to happen? I think it was a smart move.
Well, wait a minute.
And
I'm having trouble kind of focusing in on this thing. It doesn't say that he accepted the invitation. It doesn't.
Well, he saw them. No. Let me play the second part. Listen.
Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove, addiction in our country. And then you watch them do, a key bump of cocaine right in front of you.
Okay, so he's seen them do a key bump of cocaine in front of him. They did cocaine and they had a large amount of it in front of him, he said. So he's an eyewitness.
Key bump is what, a kilo?
I'm not into the... I would think like there's a pile of cocaine on a table and they're just snorting out of it. I don't know.
Scooping it up with one of their keys.
Oh, like a car key? Oh, see, I don't know. I'm not in. See, that tells you what little I know about this. So they take a key, they put it in. A key bump is not a kilo. It's just there's cocaine somewhere. They take a car key, scoop it up, and snort it off the key. That's a key bump. Oh.
Never done it because I haven't.
Well, you knew what the reference. I heard key bump. I thought there was like a big pile, like a kilo of cocaine, and they were just taken out of the pile.
There's a big pile, and you just walk over with your key, scoop it up, and have some.
Yeah, so he has seen this. He has seen this with his own eyes.
Right, so that's called leverage.
Mm-hmm.
That's leverage. Because if he didn't participate in it, which I'm sure he didn't, they've got nothing on him. They've got nothing on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, like you were talking about invoking the 25th. I just want people, like, to be aware. What you see in Kamala Harris, I've seen this throughout all my life in my industry and working at corporate. The reason why she will never invoke the 25th is this is the single most obvious thing about when women get into power on their back. They qualify, and eventually when they have to step up, they can't because they have not cut their chops learning the skills that are needed to be learned. That's what it always happens. You always
Well, that clearly applies to Kamala.
Yeah.
It clearly applies to Kamala. See, that's something we're talking about because this is a serious problem we got with Biden. We've known it for a while. We've kind of blocked it off and put it in the back of our minds. But the fact is, I see him as a clear and present danger to the security of the country.
Mm-hmm.
What's coming out of his mouth? He doesn't know what's coming out of his mouth. It's been fun and games up till this point, because it makes for good radio and television and talking about all the the wild, stupid things he says and inconsistent and incoherent. But it's way out of control now. There were like 3 or 4 of them yesterday. It's just we're in a world, unfortunately. You're dealing with superpowers that have nuclear buttons within their reach. It's just beyond.
Yeah, and the note card. Well, the note card had word for word the questions asked by reporters with his answers. Yesterday which was pretty bad. Andrea, thanks for the call. Now, in the first hour, I went over this. I want to go over it again with you, Steve. The 25th Amendment, going through that process is insane. I'm going to tell you guys how it works because I don't think people realize when we get back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. The 25th Amendment may be worse than leaving Biden where he is. I'll tell you why after the break. I know it's pretty scary how it works. Yeah, everything's worth talking about. Our number is 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call them directly, 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Brian Craig here. You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great job Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting did on his new roof. We have on the line John from Wellington, one of our regular callers. He just had his roof repaired by Laporta Contracting, and he wanted to share his experience.
Thanks to the Steve Kane Show, my roof repairs were just completed by Laporta Contractors.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
4 sections of roof repaired, and upon initial inspection, they were honest and told me that my roof was good and I didn't need a new one. I called many roofers, and they were all scammers. They all wanted to put on a new roof, and they said they wouldn't repair what I had. Thanks, Brian. Another fantastic sponsor.
Wow, that's an amazing testimonial from John in Wellington. Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting will never sell you a roof that you don't need. Give him a call for a no-charge inspection of your roof. 954-604-4602. That number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Steve Kane Show.
WWNN.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve here. Before I go through this 25th Amendment business with you, which is insane, no one knows how it works, but I do, and I'll tell you. Let's take a call or two, Steve, and then I'll get into that. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Steve, this is Randy. I'm calling from Florida. Just want to compliment on it.
Randy, how are you?
About. I'm doing fine, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I'm hanging in.
Hang on. That's the way to do it. Hey, I'm just commenting, I feel the same way that you are, that you do, when you talk about Joe Biden, because videos where he's got off the helicopter and he's leading our country, when the system's broken.
You're talking about, there was one video, I know which one you're talking about. He got lost. And he was walking up to the door to go into the West Wing. He got lost, started walking up a hill through the grass, walked behind the building, and he didn't know where he. And this is a place where he's been going for 50 years. Yeah, it was scary. Yeah, he's got them.
Out of his mouth, he's like what we used to refer to as a
senile old coot.
A loose cannon.
Yeah, loose cannon. Yeah.
Cannon, yeah, and they talk about Donald Trump. At least when he was in office, he was taking us.
Yeah. Well, see what's going on now. Okay, this is the thing. This business with Joe Biden, and I'm talking about just from the Poland speech in Warsaw to yesterday. Just in that window, he has taken a severe decline in whatever cognitive problems he has, Alzheimer's, nobody knows. He's no longer fit. And what happened, he made the comments at the speech. Within minutes, the White House said, he wasn't supposed to say that, corrected it, the cards yesterday. In Russia, Remember, they're at war right now, Russia. The entire world is against them except for China and Iran. And right now, in Putin's inner circle at the Kremlin, they're trying to figure out who's running this country. They know it's not Biden. So who is it? And they may think that radical BLMers in government are running the country. They may think Mayor Pete and gay activists are running. Who knows what they're thinking? But the reason, I started with this at 60, the reason there has not been a third world war, and we've been at relative peace since 1945, is because the United States has represented stability and kept order. And now we're not stable. If I'm Putin, I'm thinking the president of the United States has been overthrown and somebody else is running the country, and I don't know who that is. And it's not Obama at Martha's Vineyard. He's too lazy partying. Okay?
The way that I look at it, I mean, you know, everybody has their own point of opinion, but, you know, we have to have leadership in the country because, God forbid, he takes initiative to step up and say, you know what, I'm going to challenge this guy.
He did. Look what Biden had a mental fit, and that's what caused Afghanistan's collapse. He gave an order, get out now, even though they had a plan to get out that Trump left behind, and they left what? Thousands of Americans behind, all the Afghan workers behind, and an entire military operation behind. He's dangerous.
That blowed me harder when we put blood and guts over there. Innocent families died over there, and then they take and overnight just taking.
Well, that was because of he had a mental slip and started barking out orders in the middle of the night, and they have to follow them because he's in charge.
Yeah, but that's just crazy because God forbid we ever have to go back home. You know, you're going to be fighting against your own weapons.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Well, it's a service. I have a brother that's in the service, and it just irked me that he spent years over there, and this is the thing that he gets, come home and leave our equipment over there that taxpayers pay on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the financial the financial expense is the least of the problems. All right. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Barry.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. That's right. And Barry, the clock is ticking to your workshop.
Coming up on April 12th, in just about 2 weeks, and we're very excited to get back to doing the workshops after a couple of breaks due to COVID, and it's going to be at 2 p.m. at the Delray. It's actually the South County Civic Center in Delray. So for anybody who would like to attend, it's a free workshop. It's going to, you can call our office now to schedule time to come in. And for those people who do attend and want to come in to see us for a free consultation or free review of their current estate plan, they will be entitled to a gift or a discount certificate towards their estate planning document.
Yeah, and these workshops, Steve and I have been to many of Attorney Barry Siegel's workshops. This one's the Living Trust workshop, and you will get such great information, and Attorney Barry Siegel will be there with his entire staff from the Siegel Law Group answering your questions and helping you. And while the seminar is free, they do ask that you make reservations so they know how much of a space to have. Light refreshments will be served. And it's at the South County Civic Center in Delray, which I believe it's 2 weeks from today, Tuesday, April 12th, from 2 to 3 p.m. Now, I'm going to give you the number to make your reservation. Again, it's free, and they'll give you detailed directions when you call. But I got to tell you, call and make those reservations because these seminars do fill up. And once they fill up, that's it, okay? 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk later in the week. All right, take care, take care. Now, Steve, I did some researching on how the 25th Amendment works, and it doesn't work anything like anyone thinks. And Yeah, okay. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and before I tell you how it works, the 25th Amendment process could put us in a worse situation than we are in right now with Joe Biden in charge, okay? Well, when I tell you how it works, I think you will see it. Okay. The way it works is, what most people think is, okay, the vice president invokes the 25th Amendment with the majority of the cabinet, they're the president. That is not the case at all. It's not even close to that. The vice president invokes the 25th Amendment with the majority of the cabinet signing off on it. Okay? They become not the president. They become the acting president. The president is still the president, and they just don't have the authority of the office. Okay? No. Let me start over, okay? The vice president and the majority of the cabinet sign off and invoke the 25th Amendment. What happens then, the vice president, Kamala, becomes the acting president. Biden is still president. He just doesn't have the authority of the office. She's acting president. She's not the president. Biden's still the president, but the acting president, Kamala, has the authority. 4 days later, this is all in the Constitution. 4 days later, the vice president and the cabinet have to do it again. They have to sign off on the 25th Amendment again 4 days later and send it to Congress. If they don't do that, if they don't do it again in 4 days, Biden takes over the authority again, and she loses the acting presidency. No, that's just the first 4 days. After see, it's very complex. If they do it again after 4 days, now keep in mind, in those 4 days, we might have complete crash of the stock market because there's instability. Then, if they're going to keep it going, okay, they have to do it again 4 days later and submit that to Congress. Okay, at that point, Biden can do one of two things. He can either accept it and resign from office or challenge it. And yeah, that's right. And Joe and Jill will walk up to Capitol Hill and with a whole bunch of lawyers and a pail of whatever Hunter needs to get through the day, and they can challenge it with witnesses in front of Congress, which means doctors, lawyers, and scholars, and whoever the hell else they want to bring. Then the Congress has to vote on it. And it's much more of a bar to reach than an impeachment and removal from office. When a president is impeached, remember we went through this, how many times did these creeps impeach Trump? Twice? In the House, you just need a simple majority, a majority of one. They're impeached. It goes to the Senate. They have the trial. This is an impeachment. They have the impeachment trial. 3/4 of the Senate vote to remove, and they're out. And look how difficult that is. In the 25th Amendment, remember they have to do it 4 days later, send it to Congress. Biden is still the president. Kamala's acting president. He can challenge it. Congress, both houses have to vote on it. Both houses need a 3/4 majority. You need a 3/4 majority in the House, a 3/4 majority in the Senate to make Kamala the president, not the acting president, and remove Biden. If they don't reach that bar, Biden's president again. It's impossible. It's impossible. It cannot be done. And by the way, during this process, what do you have? More instability. The stock market probably collapses. The inflation, the economic disaster that would bring on over the craziness. The 25th Amendment is an impossible thing to get through. It is not. I thought it was, I guess I've seen too many movies. I thought that they signed it and boom, 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 and that was it, and that was it, and it's not. It begins a very, very long process that is almost impossible to achieve. It would be a disaster. Meanwhile, Russia, and then Kamala would be in charge on top of this war situation, on top of what's going on in Washington, which would be this, an impeachment and an impeachment trial is just like get out the popcorn, let's have some fun, watch it on TV. this would cause an financial collapse in this country. And I did not... The world. So what I'm telling you is that the 25th Amendment is not an option. First off, it's impossible to achieve it. Okay? And the instability that it would cause, not just economically, but in the world as a whole, it would be worse than what we've got now. So what I'm telling you, even if we had a vice president who was with it, like if we had Dick Cheney there or someone or Bush 41 or even if we had a vice president who that didn't have the mind of an idiot, it would be an impossibility and a disaster. Yeah, well, I was going to say something else, but I couldn't think of any other word. But yeah, I was going to say that, but I've overused that one. But 25th Amendment is just not an option. I didn't realize how difficult it was to achieve that. I thought the vice president and the cabinet signed it, and that was it. I didn't realize about this whole process. And can you imagine what would be going on in this country during that process? Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. So what I'm here to tell you is we've got to stick with Biden. That's the best option. I mean, I don't hate to use. I don't know any other way to use. That's our best option.
And the other thing to remember is this is a deteriorating condition, and in fact, you can see that it gets progressively worse as the days go by.
Yep.
And who knows where that's going to stop unraveling.
I mean, you see, this 25th Amendment is very complex and impossible to achieve. It's just not an option. I know everyone's talking about the 25th Amendment. I think we've all seen 7 Days in May too many times. And we don't really know how it works. And when I went through the details like I'm sharing with you, and it's even more complex, I gave you the Reader's Digest version of it. For me to say that Biden is the best option, it's bad. Yeah, until we get another presidential election. All right, listen, we're going to take our break. When we get back, there's more to share. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm sorry for the sad news, people. I really am, but that's the way it is. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at IWillAdvocates.com or call them directly, 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
I feel like I've taken everyone's hope away from them by explaining how this 25th Amendment works. Well, that's the process. That's the process. I mean, that's it.
the least, this is off the top of my head, but I think it was the top of my head, what the least we can do for our audience is promise that we will come back tomorrow and after finishing this show and whetting everybody's appetite and pick up where we left off, because I'm really curious to hear what ideas people have as to how this thing can play out successfully. I can tell you that...
Well, when you say this thing, what is the thing that can play out successfully? What thing? The 25th Amendment?
Future of the survival of the country
now
and the next presidential election. That the only thing we can hope for is that when the dust settles and people realize what we're dealing with, that the only possible solution is if let's say there's an election. I'm talking about the mid-year election. I'm talking about the congressional elections, and there is the incredible domination and wave of support that we expect sweeping the Republicans into power and letting them. They're going to have to take over and run the country until Trump gets here.
Well, you know, there's no process for that. No, there is not. What's the process, Steve? You got either what's that process? You got the president and the vice president who control all this. They're the only two. There's no other. What can Congress do?
Powers. What can Congress do? Well, for the first thing, they can. All the Democrats know is to throw money at problems and buy votes.
There's nothing Congress can do to save us from these two. You know, there's nothing they can do.
If you want to create a hopeless scenario, you've done.
No, I mean I'm not trying. I'm being realistic, Steve. I'm not living in denial.
I think the Congress is in. If there is you don't think it's impossible that there's going to be a wave of support.
It doesn't matter. They're not in. They don't have authority over what authority over the military? No.
Calls and see.
What? Let me tell you.
By virtue of what you're saying, that it is hopeless and helpless.
Yes, we got to write it out. We got to write it out.
We got to write it out.
You know, yeah, it's Steve. You know what? It's like, listen.
It's writing it out if there is.
No. Not if it's the Republicans that are at the drug sex orgies that they're inviting Madison Cawthorn to. Steve, I'm sorry. This is like he doesn't want to hear the truth. This is what it's like, Steve. It's like here in South Florida. When the hurricanes finally come in here, we got the shutters up, you got your new roof from Tom Laporta, you got to ride out the hurricane. That's what we're doing right now. We're riding out the hurricane. There's nothing that can be done.
Hurricane that we've got to ride through, if the Republicans dominate the...
Not when it comes to the war situation. No, because the Congress has no authority over that. Let's take some calls. No, they don't. They don't. They do not. Okay. All right. Good morning. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead. You're on the air for now. Once. Twice. All right. There you go, Steve. Yes. Oh, sorry. I hung up on them just as the hello came, so I'm sorry. We got to be a little quicker on the button. The problem is, Steve, okay, like say that we had, in the perfect scenario, okay, we've got the majority in the House and the Senate, right? What's a strong... I hear you. A wave is not going to give us 3/4 in both houses that you need to go through the process of getting the 25th Amendment put in place. I don't see we're going to have a majority, but are we going to have 3/4 of good MAGA Republicans in both houses? I don't think so. We're going to have a majority, but not enough.
So dramatic that if in fact it went that way, I know it's hard to believe that a majority of the members of Congress, regardless of party, are going to act responsibly.
But they have no authority, Steve. All they can do is gripe, like we're doing. They don't have the authority. He's the president. She's the vice president. All right. Now listen. There's only one man who can help us. There's only one man who can help us, and I am not kidding. Dr. Mitch Matez at the biostation. Because, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Hormone replacement pellet therapy. If Joe Biden began hormone pellet replacement therapy with Dr. Mitch Matez, by the way, free consultation if you mention you heard him on the Steve Kane Show. Hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Mitch Matez. We talk a lot about what it does. It brings back your sex drive, brings back your energy, makes you feel good, you look good, you get your physique back and all that stuff. One thing we don't talk about so much with hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, because this is, I'm a patient of Dr. Matez, but I have not reached this point in life yet, cognitive decline. Hormone replacement pellet therapy does wonders on those that are suffering from cognitive decline like Joe Biden. And if Joe Biden had Jen Psaki or Jill call the biostation up and met with Dr. Matez and Joe Biden began hormone replacement, I'm not kidding. This is a spot, but I'm being serious about this at the same time. If Joe Biden began hormone replacement pellet therapy, his cognitive problems, that wouldn't be the issue. He'd still be a liberal jerk and be wrong on the issues, but he'd have his wits about him, and America would be safe. So if you or someone you know suffering from cognitive decline, call Dr. Matez over at the biostation. Mention you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. Take advantage of that free consultation. Here's the number, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. Back with the Gold Report after this.
You suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable.
Hey there.
There is help at the Lighthouse
Steve Kane Show.
Call 754-222-6642
Yep, what's your name?
for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye
Mm-hmm.
to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers, whatever car or truck.
Yeah, Freedom Pellets, I think so.
Incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices.
Steve Kane Show.
My number is 954-977-9445.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
I will give you a price over the phone.
No, I'm serious about that.
My number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just like...
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking?
The metals are looking very weak right now. After yesterday's washout down to the 1920 support level, gold closing down $35.80, closing at $1,922.60. Silver breaking down below $25, down 62 cents at $24.91 beyond. Platinum down $16 at $9.84, and palladium down $106 at $21.62. The support level of 1920 did not hold overnight, and even the support, the major support at 1900 did not hold. So we're really getting a good washout in the metals, giving us an incredible buying opportunity. The gold right now down $31.10 at $1891.50. It'd be important to see if today, if we come back and close over the $1,900 number. I would, if I was a betting man, I would say that would be very likely to see today. So we'll watch this market, but I think it's a great buying opportunity right now. Gold $1891.50, as I said. Silver down 85 cents at $24.05. We actually got under $24 momentarily. Platinum down $24 at $9.60, and palladium down $142 at $20.20. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines, it's a great opportunity. Oil under $100 a barrel, $99. And strong stock dollar and weaker oil has not helped the precious metals at this particular time. But remember, these markets and the way we report them are just on the short-term basis, not the long-term basis to look at metals.
this is the time in which you want to take advantage of the dip and buy.
That's right, and right now, what William Youngerman is telling you, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, it's on sale today, right? And it's a great sale. It's a time to take advantage of that sale. We all love sales, and today is a metals sale. William Youngerman, located right here in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. The address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. Online, find them at williamyoungerman.com or give them a call. They open up at 10 a.m. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow. All right, take care, Steve. You want to go to some calls? Okay, all right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning, caller. Yes, you're on the air.
Paris, Florida.
Okay, Florida. Go ahead. You called us. I'm assuming that... Yeah.
I love you.
Oh, thank you. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calls today, Steve? Been on a little weak side. You know, a little weak side today. The quality has not been where we'd like it, but we're trying. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Louisiana.
Hey, man. Hey, I just
Yes.
I just want to call. Did you buy your boat?
Did I buy my what? Oh, the boat show. The boat show in Palm Beach. No, I did not buy a boat.
No, a boat. I said, what did you buy?
You mean the one? Which one? The one that cost $1.6 million, or the one that cost $18 million?
You know you got the money.
Now, do you have any content? It's been this way since 6, Steve. It's been this way since 6 a.m. on the phones. I think so. It's been this way since 6 a.m. Hey, some days we've had lots of calls. Lots of calls. The quality? Low quality. Lots of calls, very low quality. Exactly. We want top shelf callers, you know, like top shelf liquor. We want top shelf calls. I'm going to try one more, and I've been very reluctant to take any calls today. It's been this way since 6 a.m. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? See, here it is. Yes, okay. Okay. Oh, boy. I think the others on hold should just sit there. I don't think we should take any more calls today. I don't know if today, I'm thinking 3 hours in, lots of calls, full boards throughout the show. I don't know if we've had one decent call on the program today. I don't know. I'm trying to remember, but I'm thinking back, and I don't think we've had one. And I don't think we've ever had a run of calls like this. There are good callers, there are bad callers, you know. And some callers are better than the other. I don't know if we've had a day where we've had full boards of calls the whole show, and not one of them was like somebody that was interesting or had something to say. If you called in earlier and you had something interesting to say and I'd forgotten about you, hey, look at what I'm dealing with on the phone. You can understand while I'm blocking out all the phone calls from today. So if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take your calls yesterday. Okay, no more calls today. The quality control's gotten out of hand. But I'm sorry to depress. I know you don't. Steve doesn't like me to bring up things that are depressing, right? I mean, that's what it is. I don't have a positive scenario for you. Oh, Congress, but what would they do? So we've got the majority in both houses, which we're going to have, red wave. Okay, so what do they do to stop Biden from starting the Third World War, which may be underway at that point, by the way?
All the people who are out there that usually are playing this political game, which is buying influence, recognize that the survival of the country is at stake here, and they start voting not just for these payoffs, but
yeah, okay. The key bump people from the Madison Cawthorn orgy, yeah. Now,
that's what I'm talking about. If you're assuming everybody, if you think the majority of people in this country are in that category, I can understand why you're depressed. I like to think that when push comes to shove, Americans will come through in the end. And Americans are pretty sick and tired of this, in case you hadn't noticed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're ready for some real revolution at the
Yeah.
we need here.
Yeah. Now, we have a full board of calls. We are not taking any of them. You people on hold, we are not taking any more calls today. We'll come back. When we come back tomorrow, we'll reopen the phones, because I'm not going to end the show with one of these bright minds that we've heard from on the air today. That's not the way I want to do it. But I am going to give people some good news, okay? I am going to give people some good news. And that is Lighthouse Medical Center, which, I can't remember the last time you complained to me about your neuropathy, Steve. You were always griping about your neuropathy.
That's because it's by and large disappeared.
That's amazing.
Great program.
Amazing. Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Now, let me tell you about Lighthouse Medical Center real quick. This is an amazing thing about Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Now, this is where Steve is going for his neuropathy treatment, which is very effective, as you can hear. Lighthouse Medical Center has been in practice with the same family of doctors in Pompano for 75 years. Is that amazing? 75 years in practice, same family of physicians right here in Broward County in Pompano. That's amazing. So that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the longest, that might be the oldest medical practice in the whole county, Steve. 75 years? That's amazing. Same family? That's unheard of. And this neuropathy treatment that you're going through, you saw results after the first treatment. Here, a couple weeks into it, you were always complaining about your neuropathy, and you have it. And let me tell you, those of you that have neuropathy or know someone who does, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's torture. It's really, I don't know, it's like a disability. Is it a disability? I think it can be a disability.
It's almost impossible to live with.
Yeah.
I tell you, they've just done a wonderful job, and it doesn't take forever to kick in after about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The program goes on.
And I taught you started on a Friday. I taught you on Monday. After just one treatment, you were already seeing relief. It's absolutely amazing. So listen, Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano, give them a call. If you mention you heard them on the Steve Kane Show, it's a no-charge consultation. But you got to mention you heard them on the Steve Kane Show. Yeah. That's right. And here's the number. Now, if you missed this number, all of our sponsors are listed at SteveKaneShow.com. I added a button right to the top of the SteveKaneShow.com website to our sponsor page. Here's the number to Lighthouse Medical Center. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. And again, mention you heard them on the Steve Kane Show to take advantage of that free, no-charge consultation. All right, and say goodbye to your neuropathy. All right, well, we'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have some good news tomorrow. And, I was reluctant to talk about this stuff today. Yesterday, I just say this before we go, people were, we were talking about the Will Smith thing yesterday, and a lot of people have said, why did you do that? Why? I've heard from people, why'd you talk about it? I'll tell you, because I was so depressed at what I'm seeing right now. I wanted to take a break from it and live in a state of denial for a day. You know what I mean? I wanted to take a break from it because the news is so depressing. But hopefully we'll have some better news for you tomorrow, other than it's hopeless. It's hopeless. Oh my goodness. Well, you want to sign us off, Steve? We're about out of time.
Tomorrow morning, starting at 6 a.m., on behalf of our associate producer, who today is my partner and co-host. God help America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Oh, man. Well, Jesus is definitely Lord. You know, I've been doing this new Bible study that I started a couple weeks ago. It's really good. Do any of you guys know who Father Mike is with Ascension Presents? Oh, my goodness. They're doing the Bible in a year, and it's about, I don't know, depending on the day, average about 20 minutes a day. I usually do it before I come into the show in the morning, and I'm learning more about the Bible. I've learned more about the Bible in the last 2 weeks, in particular the Old Testament, than I have my whole life. Because I think, like a lot of people, you know, a lot of stuff in the Old Testament, I skip over a lot of the Old Testament. Don't understand who's who, what's going on, and everything. And this Bible study I'm doing does such a great job explaining things and their significance in the Old Testament that I did not know. Yeah. No, not you, Mike. Not Father Mike is not in here. Yeah, we were just doing Joshua for the last, 8 days of Joshua. And we're starting tomorrow. Ruth, I think, is tomorrow. Well, thank you, Chaplain Judge. The Al Rantel is, oh yeah, the Bible is factual. Absolutely, it's factual. Not to liberals. Liberals believe it's like, you know, big, you know, Huckleberry Finn or something, but no, it is factual. Yeah. No, it's a good one. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Because what they do is, it's a podcast, The Bible in a Year with Father Mike Schmitz, and today was day 88. So I just listened to it on I just listened to it on Apple Podcast. Let me pull it. This is the one from today. Yeah, saying Father Mike. And you read the so today we did. Today's readings were Joshua 22 through 24, and then they always do a psalm in Psalm 132. And tomorrow I don't know what it is yet because they haven't uploaded it yet. But that's Father Mike. The Old Testament is as relevant as the new one. Yeah, it is. It is. But a lot of times with the Old Testament, if I'm just trying to read it on my own, I don't have really context with a lot of the names and the places and the things that are going on, and you know what I mean? So it gives me some content or context for the content, and then in a little over a week it'll hit into, yeah, it's pretty good. Now I'm Catholic, so Father Mike Schmidt is Catholic, but you know what? You can be Protestant, and still get a lot out of it. It doesn't matter what denomination you are. But I like, I found Father Mike on YouTube, Ascension Presents. Well, thank you. Yeah. I just started this. I skipped ahead because they started at the first of the year, and I was trying to be behind them, but it updates with the latest episode. So I did the first couple, but then I skipped to this because I want to be current every day. So I'm going to go current, and then I'll have to do the first few days after it's completed because I started kind of late. It doesn't matter what your denomination is, right? We all believe in the same thing, Jesus, so that's fine. I don't get sidelined with different denominations and have those kind of we don't need any divisions. It's like MAGA, right? We have different things we believe and everything else. Yeah, it is good, and I really enjoy it. I'm getting more out of this, and Josh was a very difficult, because if I'm just reading Joshua, mostly what I get are just a long list of names and things, but now I have a little context. Great lessons in the Bible. Yeah, yeah, and every day they do a psalm, and psalm is the Psalms are amazing. I mean, to me, the Psalms, it's almost every time there is something that relates to what's going on to me in that particular day. Yeah. You drove your car for the first time yesterday. Oh, that's awesome, Sarah. That's good that you can do that now. Absolutely. All right, guys, I got to take off, but I will see you all later. All right, thanks. And make sure you subscribe if you're new. Don't leave without liking the video, all right? Take care.